So we have the Browns going up against the Ravens. Matchup of the first and last first-round quarterbacks taken this past draft. And what do you know? It's a game that matters. Yeah. So the Browns aren't going to make the playoffs, but they can play spoiler. And for somebody with an ego like Baker Mayfield's, that's all the motivation he needs. They're going to bring it in this game. I expect the Ravens to win, but I expect it to be very close, and they're going to have to fight for every inch in this game. They will, though. They will. And that win that you're going to get at the end of this one, that's going to ruin the Steelers' season, and that'll make it all the sweeter. You get to beat one division rival to ruin the season for another division rival. Fantastic, right? So Lamar Jackson runs this offense really well. And they've got, at any given time, 3 running options in the backfield that defenses have to keep an eye on. So it's very similar to what people do in the passing game these days. Motion, laterally, multiple options, keep the defense honest pre-snap, where all they can do is manage their gap assignments. They can't attack you. You are dictating to them. You're just doing it with the running game instead of the passing game like other teams do. That's fine. Running game works great. It gets other teams tired, and then your defense can just beat the heck out of them in the second half because they're well rested. They're not on the field all the time since you're running and running the clock out. It's great for everybody. So Jackson's style of running this offense was perfect for their defensive strengths, and they are rumbling right into the playoffs. Again, this is going to be a good game. The Browns get paid too, and unlike previous seasons, they are no longer chumps. Myles Garrett is a force to be reckoned with. Lamar Jackson's probably going to get personally introduced to him at least a few times this game. Baker Mayfield's the real deal. He's a rookie, sure. Doesn't play like it. He's got a 2-to-1 interception ratio. A little better than that. Veteran pro quarterbacks aspire to that. Just ask people like Case Keenum. So, I expect the Browns to show up strong in this game, build on momentum for next season. I expect all of this division to have a serious problem against the Browns in the coming years. They're not there yet. They're just young enough for their talent to not carry them through in a game like this, where the Ravens have some serious playing motivation. They've got a lot of momentum of their own, and also have a young quarterback with a lot of juice. So Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield is going to be fun to watch in this matchup. I expect the Ravens to win. I don't think that they're going to do well against the spread, so I wouldn't bet this game as a Ravens fan. But the real big story here is whether or not your coach signs his contract extension. So now that Lamar Jackson's in the lineup, we kind of know that the problem wasn't John Harbaugh. The Ravens didn't figure that out. John Harbaugh probably knew that he wasn't the problem. But it was his decision to keep on putting Flacco out there instead of Lamar Jackson, so he's got to shoulder some of the blame. Now that Flacco was forced out because of injury, and Lamar Jackson had enough games to prove that he deserved to stay in that role, now you put him in there. And he's saving your coaching life. But I don't know if it's ego, but there's still a question on whether or not he'll actually sign an extension. There might be some differences between him and other people in the front offense that we're not really privy to right now. That's kind of weird to hear from a coach who was having a disastrous season and is now on the brink of the playoffs. You usually hear that those people sign on the dotted line pretty quick. This may be a holdout sort of scenario where he's just trying to get them to sweeten the pot on the contract, but you don't normally hear these things from coaches that are actually bringing their teams to the playoffs. So there might be some real dysfunction in that front office, and Harbaugh might be on his way out. Keep an eye on things in the coming weeks. The good coaches are going to be taken, and you're going to be in the playoffs. So you're going to have to wait till February to know really if Harbaugh's going to stay or if you're going to be left picking over the pile of leftovers to see who your coach is going to be to carry Lamar Jackson into the future. Keep an eye on the coming content. I will be putting videos up for off-season activities like the draft and free agency. It obviously won't be as frequent since those things don't happen as often as the weekly games, but there will be some good stuff in there.